All right, good evening, YouTubers. Finished up another project and I wanted to share it with you. Basically, I've been sorting all of my hardware. So screws, nuts, bolts, washers, clips, staples, nails, all that kind of stuff. So the way I decided to do it was first I started sorting all of the hardware in these HDX bins from picked up from Home Depot. They sell them online as well. There's all kinds of different brands of these things. I just thought these were good. I don't need removable cups in them, so these were 2 for $10, and I got 2 for, and I'm going to go pick up 2 more. So I'll have 6 of them. So started with just sorting everything based on what they, like equipment or like hardware in each bin, and sorted them into these little cups. You can probably see that. And then ultimately I will label them on the front or on the side here as to what's in them. I wanted to store these somewhere where they were easily accessible. So I just happen to have this space on top of my toolbox here. I believe it's about 16 inches wide or so. And so I decided I would build a box to hold these bins. The reason I did it is, I'll show you another project in a separate video, is I put more hardware in this drawer in this toolbox. So I wanted it all right here. This seemed like a good spot. I didn't want to clutter up shelves elsewhere with the drawers or with the bins. So this is what I did. I just built a simple box out of 3/4 inch plywood for the sides and the bottom and the back, and then I used 1/2 inch plywood for the shelves, and then I used some strips of leftover plywood to just hold up the shelves instead of dadoing in and making it more difficult to build. I was able to build this all in one evening, and just used wood screws, wood glue, and my brad nailer to assemble it. I also have a metal box that I've had for years that has some electrical connectors and wire nuts and fuses and all my electrical stuff in it. So I've spent about 2 weeks, no kidding, pulling all my hardware out of all my drawers and shelves and getting it together in one spot. And then I sorted it into these bins. Truth be told, it's already been great. I've already used it a couple of times. I know exactly where to go now to get my hardware, and hopefully I can keep it organized. That's the plan, at least, and we'll go from there. One other bit of interest, I guess, is that if I knew what the piece was and it was already in a box that had identification on it, I tore off the identification, like a 1.25 inch washer or 1/4 washer, and I stuck the little piece of cardboard from the box in the bin, such that I know if I use them up later, I know what I had and I can go buy it. In all cases, that's not true, because some of the hardware I didn't know what it was. I just threw it in there. But if I did know what it was, I took the piece of cardboard or bag, plastic bag or label, and stuck it in the bin. So I encourage everybody to try this. You don't have to build a box like this and do it like I did it, but these bins are cheap, relatively, and with just a few of them, you can sort hundreds of different types of hardware and keep it organized. So next I'm going to show you how I built the the box. I'll speed up the video or something such that it's not boring, and edit it best I can. And I'll show you how I built and assembled the box, and then we'll go from there. Thanks. All right, so got all the wood cut, and I'm gonna do some assembly. So built this thing out of 3/4 inch plywood for the bottom sides and back, and then 1/2 inch plywood for the shelves and the top. So that's the plan anyway. So hopefully I got this thing built correctly, or at least cut correctly. So using Tight Bond 2 glue. Again, this is just a shop cabinet, so I'm not 100% concerned with how it comes out, but that's okay. So what I'll probably do is put a clamp on it. Herein lies why I hate plywood. I'll probably put a few screws in here as well. Just 1.5 inch construction screws. I got some new screws today that I'm trying out. These are Spax 1.25 inch construction screws. They seem very good, actually. All right. So the sides are on the bottom. So let's see if the back fits. Ah, it looks like I knew what I was doing. Man, it's hot here. It's 85 today. All right, so what I got here is 1.5 inch strips. These are going to be like runners or supports for the shelves. And I didn't have enough wood. I was just going to make them 3 inches, but I didn't really have enough wood. So I made them 3.5 or 1.5 inch. And I'll use one as a spacer. So here's how we're going to do this. We're going to, hopefully you can see what I'm doing. I'll put a little glue on there. Not sure why, but what the heck, right? And then we will throw a couple of screws in. I got all the runners in. Hopefully you can see that. Spaced them out. I used a jig. So I used a single piece on the bottom to make the spacing 3 inches, because these are 1.5 inch runners. And then I had to add the thickness of the shelf, which is 1/2 inch, for each additional. So I just put the spacer in, put the runner in, screwed it in all the way up. Used a little bit of glue, and got all those done in pretty short order. Not too bad. And then now it's time to put the shelves in. So I think they're gonna fit okay. I'll probably shoot them in maybe with some brads, although I'm not sure why. Let's see how hard that is. I put these in sideways just because. All right. So that's all I got for you, and I want to thank everybody for subscribing. Got a lot of new subscribers lately, and I really appreciate that. And if you see fit and you like the video, please share it with your friends, and please subscribe so you don't miss any of my future videos.